Episode Kaizen, Metrics and Ever Improving, Making People and Products Better, Kaizen. There are many ways to improve the performance of your team, and I have tried many ways to help people succeed, to become better at their jobs or even in their personal lives. But in the end, there has never been a one-size-fits-all for people and their lives or their careers. And so, I am going to share some random tales of things trying to improve people's performance and their success. And with individuals improving their skills, their products will be better and consumers will be more served and satisfied because of it. The word Kaizen in Japanese generally translates to continuous improvement. The most notable renowned corporation that evangelized its adoption of Kaizen was Toyota, first at its Japanese headquarters and then exported culturally to its operations globally. And so, I will share how Kaizen's philosophy of continuous improvement was at the heart of making people, teams, and products great at Fusion. One example I have tried to help people thrive and flourish was this: a mentorship program, where veterans were paired with less experienced people so they could show them the ropes and teach them how to be more effective at their job. I set up formal mentorship program for the engineers within our division and created instruction, guidelines, and examples for people to leverage and learn from, especially in mentorship programs. I presented TED Talk style presentations on how to be an effective mentor. I shared numerous educational sessions on new platforms or programming languages, on algorithms, on code and data optimization, and how to pre-bake fix-ups, and numerous tips and tricks. Not to mention new central technologies and how to use them as they were rolled out. The mentorship program was so successful that even EA Canada adopted it to use throughout Canada, the country. And even EA Worldwide shared it out to the rest of EA studios globally as something they might consider replicating or adopting. I am proud to have been instrumental in greatly improving the staff and its talent with Electronic Arts. Do not let low performers bring down the team's productivity and its morale. Excise underperformers, but only after offering a way to improve themselves and recover, usually in a performance improvement plan, a PIP. You owe it to the team to be a good manager, to ensure everybody knows what is expected of them, ensuring everyone knows how they can grow their skills and maximize their efficacy, and to have hard conversations, even if it means managing someone out, or hey, managing them up to promotion. Let's talk about having bad and hard conversations with people. There are potential reactions from having a hard conversation with someone. They might get upset. Sometimes people even become enraged. Very rarely, I have actually seen people become destructive and violent. But no matter how nice you are or how you package the message, people will usually struggle to embrace even constructive feedback. And worse, some people will outright reject and not accept criticism at all, period. Indeed, for some people, there is no criticism sandwich that's good enough to deliver the message successfully, that they can hear it or react to it positively, to act on it constructively. A message sandwich with a positive introduction and a positive conclusion should make the nasty taste of the meat of the matter, its criticism, more palatable, more acceptable. I recall one incident of an engineer named Jamie that had a very sour response to being given constructive criticism on how not to break the build, in his case. Jamie frequently checked in code into a shared version controlled project where the source code was accessed by everybody. He checked it into the main source code branch. He committed the code, but he did not test it with the current mainline branch of code. It invariably broke other people's code. But he blamed everybody else for breaking his code, though he was responsible. Jamie rationalized it was everyone else's failure because they should have fetched the code themselves, testing his latest code before they checked in their code. Well, that's just not how version control software is intended to work with multiple people. Jamie was wrong. Well, whatever the reason, it did not matter. In no scenario was it ever his fault. It was always someone else's fault, and thus their job to fix his mainline branch breaks. Again, it was never his job, as he was never to be blamed. He made sure everyone knew it. And yes, he did reject all blame and responsibility for every one of his failings. One day, that engineer Jamie broke the build for seemingly the 1,000th time. Whatever the count was, it was high. Jamie was making the team miserable, as the game was always in an uncertain, unstable state. Things were not good, and he had to address his shortcomings or be exited from the team, likely fired. Well, he was once again unreceptive to constructive guidance, but this time he was informed that without remedy, he would lose his job. Jamie flipped out. He swore, profanities flew in every direction, at every person and everything. Jamie was steaming mad. He returned to his desk, whereupon he promptly formatted all network drives that he had access to, destroying all the data. He destroyed the version control source depot, and then he formatted his own computer hard drive. And then he declared, "I rage quit." That's right. There's a word or a phrase called rage quit, and he rage quit. Yeah, he declared out loud, "I quit, I rage quit," so loud that all people in the building's main floor could hear his rants, his words bellowing across the floors, that he was abandoning them and leaving the team. Security was called, and he was escorted from the building. But there was damage. People were disturbed. All of his work on his local computer was lost. Restoring the network drives would take a day, and there was wasted time as people's latest synchronized changes were not in the depot backup. Yes, the loser engineer who had rage quit hurt the entire team. Everyone that he had considered a friend turned on him as he dumped his fury all over them as more work they had to do. He already caused strain with breaking the build so often, and now he flamed and raged as he quit. No one had any respect for that engineer anymore after seeing his pathetic and immature destructive behavior. It was not just his mediocre quality of work and his inability to take criticism, but he was inconsiderate of his fellow workers and his alleged friends by throwing all that extra work and their work in the trash. He did not care at all about his friends, colleagues, or their work, or the company. Yes, real nice, not he was an arse. Most people, even the best of us, struggle to accept criticism, even if we do not rage quit or melt down like Jamie the engineer. We will often feel the sting. Criticism hurts, it stings, it smarts, it does not feel good. But criticism, when constructive, provides insight into problems and recommendations for possible solutions. And people will see benefit and glean insight from that criticism once they are over and recovered from the sting. When people first hear something negative, especially something negative about them, their cackles go up, their guards rise, and their frontal cortex lights up like a storm with emotional rejection and potentially managed or unmanaged fury. It is tough to accept or embrace something negative about ourselves, and so give people time to recover from the sting when given negative information. In my experience, most people need 24 hours, a full day, to recover from the sting of constructive criticism. Some people even need a full weekend to recover from the sting. And for those that need more than a weekend, I just say grow up and get over it or get out. There you have it. Delivering negative information to people usually results in their inability to rationally respond until they recover from the emotional sting from that hurtful information. Usually 24 hours up to a weekend to process it and get over it. During manager-employee one-on-one meetings, I often made sure to emphasize what I called the 10% better mantra. What is the 10% better mantra? Well, I would say it was this: rise each and every day and ask yourself, how can I help someone become 10% more productive or innovative or skilled today? If you can help someone achieve 10% more each day, and they can help another person achieve 10% more themselves, once 10 people have done so, it's like there's an entirely extra person who joined the team for free. And people are proud of each other for helping each other, doing great things together. If you can train someone to be 10% better forevermore, that's incredible. Imagine training 10 people to be 10% better in 1 year. The team would be strong, so strong, as if they had an extra person forevermore. All because of a deliberate effort to find ways to help everyone get 10% better over the course of a year. Imagine if every single year, everybody in the group got 10% better. The compounding excellence, the productivity, it's incredible. It's awesome. I would suggest new tools and libraries, new frameworks and processes, new workflows, anything that makes people create higher quality, fewer bugs, and deliver faster within allocated resources or costs is a massive win for the customer, for the company, for the team, for everyone. Inspiring teammates with leadership, encouragement, side-by-side help, and just being a cheerleader for them can sometimes be enough to achieve that extra 10%. Strive every year to improve everyone you work with to become 10% better at their job. Your role in making people better, greater, will be recognized eventually, and you will rise and be promoted over time with them because you make people better. After all, what company would not seek to retain and reward a star employee that makes everyone they work with better while they still do their own work? Throughout my career, I would both strive to improve myself constantly and seek to empower and help others to be great with me. 10% better, the mantra, is an example of one of my many continuous improvement messages, one of my messages of Kaizen. So again, Kaizen is a focusing lens to remind and hone people's commitment to ever improving and to ever doing better for themselves, for the team, and most importantly, for their product and the customer. With one word, so much can be conveyed and rallied behind. Kaizen. Continuous improvement. Something worthwhile for everyone to pursue. Kaizen.